What can happen in the span of 100 years? I mean, life happens for everybody. When I think about Jimmy Carter, I think about leadership. I think about integrity. I think about servitude and the humbled expressions that come from what you don't know, but what you're willing to do anyway. Those are some of the things that I think about as I process the passing of Jimmy Carter and the role he played in molding me from areas of my mind. It's something to ponder on, because greatness only comes from the implementation of great thought leaders like Jimmy Carter. I think about some of the things that came from him. One of my favorite quotes is that his statement that wherever he is, he'll do good. Wherever he is, with whatever he has, with all of his heart, and that is something that sticks out because it's how I operate. It's how my integrity comes through me. And with every breath that I take, it comes with such a demonstration to my commitment to serve at my best effort. And as I process some of the pillars that continue to ring through my head, over the next 8 days, we get to reflect on some of the changes that have come with those that are willing to stand out, those that are willing to go against what most are doing, those that are willing to challenge this status quo. And as a thought leader myself in my own space, I hold that with such honor to further express my efforts to do whatever I can with whatever I have in every moment that I can. And it's just a bittersweet that this is kind of washing as a kind of reminiscence on something that I never got to experience, which was spending time with Jimmy Carter. It's as I think about the effect of his life, and as I grew up and learned about the different presidential candidates and their standpoints, I realized with Jimmy Carter, the ethics and the integrity that come from him are important aspects that leaders possess naturally. There's an innate order within a natural leader that helps them pull a cause. And as we sit and we think about the life of Jimmy Carter and the change he's made on the world, and I say that tongue in cheek because the world is really just one person's mind, and the way they're able to then from there move through it. You see, Jimmy Carter said words that had depth, that had meaning, and they were able to sway people into a right thinking, into a right order. It's something that a lot of us seek, is that compass of truth, that compass to know that no matter what we do, no matter how we are, we have an acceptance. But as a leader, that's not the purpose. The purpose as a leader is to is to see the beauty and the unique aspects of individuals and collect into a group of kaleidoscoped skills. And from there, you're able to move great missions by everybody's active participation. And as I think about Jimmy Carter, and I think about the way that he infused into me with his words, it causes me to smile. It causes me to sit in this humble moment of appreciation, knowing that I am doing my best. We are doing our best. I am with every breath living a purpose, and with it I get to bring others with me on this journey, and our team lives from that light. We live from an inside light of doing whatever we can with whatever we have for whoever, whenever, however. And those are the pillars that I rest upon as I continue to carve ways to bring more value in our efforts to do it together, in our efforts to be more as one, because we are not one being. We are beings that can move by our efforts to great measures, to things that are unmeasurable in our mind. And I'm a big fan of measuring things. I love to measure things. Expressions are some of the hardest things to measure in terms of the reciprocity and return of those actions, but it is a dynamic. It's a push. It's a pull. It's a continuous motion. And as a leader, we get to carve that path for others, to help them strengthen their abilities until they can lead something that serves and fulfills them to their core. And until then, we get to work through the 6 core fundamentals that collect into great matter of mind, into great value. And it's just an exciting journey, because I am nowhere near 100 years old. But I know that there'll be a point in time where I might be, and I may be also very cognizant at that time. And I'm going to use this moment to kind of mark it, because the centennial celebration of a being is something more than noteworthy. It is something that spans a time of connected moments. And as I share many moments with the Pixie Queen, it's fun to kind of group it all together to really see just how we evolve, and how we refine, and how we polish who we are and what we do, because we aren't what we do very well unless we know who we are. Those two things, right? It's very much like the age-old, you're dead your entire life until you get to a point where you start living a life of presence and a life of intention. And those are 2 of the biggest buzzwords that are in 2025 that I've heard and that keep rolling back to me are intention and presence. And when you have those 2 in a hemisphere, it can create a synergistic expression, because it moves you from ideation to an implementation. And as you trust this adoption and this process, you'll start to move into a state where there is no resolution to a new year. There is no other option other than this now moment and us delivering our all, because all efforts matter. all expressions matter. All people matter. And when we can find a way to put that together, it becomes something that is beautiful, like a symphony of one's life, such as Jimmy Carter and all of the ways he's affected the ways of the world.